Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Scott Show. See, people are excited to hear the Scott Show today. We are here at the wake-up call. It is 7:44 in the morning. We got this going on today. It is a live show. We do this every Tuesday and Friday. Now is just starting our brand new season of the Scott Show wake-up call, and we're doing this live. So we do our live shows. We don't tape because I figured, I want to be a little bit more genuine with the shows, and so I figured, what the hell, let's do it live. What can go wrong when we're live? Of course, a lot can go wrong when we're live, but nothing really has so far, knock on wood. We've had some great shows, and we have 5 different channels you can check out with the Scott Show, and that is the 102550 show, which is our business that we run here. The Scott Show main show, which has the wake-up call right now. We also have the wrestling show. We have the sports show, which will be covering a lot of the football stuff going on, and we'll have other sports now that we have a sports show. And then we have our Bible study show, which is going to come out every Sunday and I believe Thursday now. So we are making content all the time. We're getting you guys involved all the time. The last season I did this wake-up call, we did it every morning. I could always switch that if the want was there to do it, but we want our viewers. We'll do things more often if you ask for it. So that's what we're here for, is the Scott Show wake-up call, to have a little bit of fun with life, because we do make a little bit of money with this. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. Speaker.com does pay us a few cents to make each podcast. That's why we have so many. That's why we do so much content, is because we love to give out to you guys some great stuff. Talk about things that I love, like I love football. I love pro wrestling. It's one of my favorite things. You know what? And I love God. So hey, I'm going to talk about it. So, and that's just a little of me, since I don't do the whole church thing. I might as well do the podcasting thing when it comes to it. So that's what we got going on. And might as well talk about what else is going on in this world. And first of all, we'll talk about the biggest news, because it really was the biggest news of the day yesterday. It had to do with the sun, which is, pretty damn big. I started the show good, don't I? This is gonna work. Again, we're live. But the eclipse happened yesterday, and a lot of people were saying that it really brought everybody together, and I thought that was really cool that, a thing like the eclipse could do that, is bring everybody together and be like, hey, this works so great. It was just kind of an amazing thing. I mean, yes, I get that, it happened, and that, but it couldn't have happened at a better time, I think, for America, where everybody got together and did this thing. Now, Good Morning America is announcing here that a baby girl was born, and she was actually named Eclipse. So that's cool. I can't wait for her to go to school and say, hey, when were you born? Oh, wait, we know. So that might be pretty trippy. So I thought that, hey, I'll look at Twitter, I'll look at yahoo.com, I'll look all over the place, get some news, talk about things like Six Flags. I know some people probably don't know what happened there, but I'll let you in on what's up. Donald Trump stares at the eclipse. That's the big thing, is I heard he joked about it and said, hey, look up there, and hell, he's the president. People going to take pictures and make memes and whatever else. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, that was pretty nuts. We do have our Raw show, recap show, which is up, so check that out if you guys want, because that got brought up on yahoo.com. There you go. So Steve Bannon, apparently this is Business Insider, and this is one of those things that I'll um, go with. Steve Bannon reportedly wants Reince Priebus to testify to Robert Mueller that Jared Kushner was behind the James Comey firing. So it looks like even though Steve Bannon, who is the outed chief strategist of the White House, he said he's totally Trump all day long. It looks like he's not totally Trump family all day long. And damn. So yeah, that is definitely a trippy thing right there. Wow. Alright. Well, we do have that info too. Yeah, just kind of taking a peek at what's going on. I did say something about Six Flags. Apparently, Six Flags removed all their Confederate flags. Now, folks, I didn't know that Six Flags even had Confederate flags up there, but apparently they do. They were founded based on the idea of Six Flags of government, from what I understand. I haven't read into it because I saw this on CNN last night. So I thought it was really interesting. And apparently, looking this up now, the Agriculture Commissioner blasts Six Flags for removing the Confederate flag. Okay. So that's going to be an interesting one to read. The Texas Agriculture Commissioner. I always want to kind of make a statement. If you guys check out the Charlottesville post that I had made, and I'm not a big time writer, so I do the podcasting thing, but I'm probably going to be writing a lot too coming up here shortly. And I am going to school. The idea with the Confederacy, and here back in the 1860s we had the Confederates and the Union. They lost. Their war was 0-1, and yet the South, you often heard the South will rise again, blah blah blah, and the Confederate stuff has been there ever since 1860, and yet just now, many moons later. Funny, it was the eclipse yesterday. I said many moons. For anybody who caught that and laughed, thank you. But so we have, back in the 1860s, we have all this stuff with the Confederacy, and then now we have a problem with it. I mean, it's been a few years, folks. More like 150 some odd years. So I don't get I don't get why the argument hasn't been started before if the argument is now. I get society changes, but I would like to tell you folks that watch out what you wish for if you think that with society changing all the time. People cheer for certain things and go for certain things, and the majority always will rule. But watch out, because your majority might not rule all the time. And it's a shame to think that way, that we can't just all be Americans and enjoy life and whatever. But, right now we had 8 years of a Democratic president who was the first African American president, and now we have kind of the opposite. We have a businessman who is the oldest president we've had. He has a lot of changes in his White House. He has issues with Russia, apparently. But so many people were happy and cheerful when Obama was elected, and then they turn around and now 8 years later you got complete opposite of Donald Trump. So watch out what you guys wish for and what happens, because the majority might not always be your majority. And I thought it was really interesting because here you have the Confederate flag, who's been flying. Now, Six Flags have been around 56 years. Just found that out because I'm on their Wikipedia. And for 56 years, the Confederate flag has been flying. And I know people have their issues with the Confederate flag and the rebel flag. But at the same time, and I don't even know if I could say that, but at the same time, because it's just one of those things. It should have been an issue way beforehand. I just don't get it. So, I know society changes, and people are going to probably say, oh yeah, well, this happens, blah, 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 blah. Great for that. That's wonderful that society changes. But if you have a problem, you should have had a problem a long time ago. If our government had a problem or something like that, it should have happened a long time ago. We live in a world of free speech. Well, thank God that we do here in America, or else I wouldn't be having this podcast saying what I'm saying. And I just worry that for the people who get too into the craziness of let's just go with that. The people who get too far into the craziness, and I understand, hey, if you're going to go protest something, go protest it. That's your right. If you're going to protest the fact that somebody's protesting something, that's your right. But you throw a punch, you should get arrested. And even, I think you should get arrested for violating their First Amendment rights to protest. I mean, if it's on either side. The people who are taking down these statues, if you grabbed a rope and tore down that statue, which I can't remember where it was. It was it might have been in Virginia, but I'm not sure where they ripped apart that statue. Those people violated property that was not theirs. Their mama did not teach them right. Let the governments handle it. I think. And this is what I think, and nobody's going to go with me on this because the Republicans will probably be pissed for me saying this. But I think that any removal of these statues should go to the voter. We have this right in our country called voting for a reason. I think that all this stuff should go to the voter. You want this removed? Let's vote on it. I don't know if you guys remember when you were little kids that you would vote on different things because that's the best way to do things. If 4 kids don't want to do something, but 2 kids are still are making too much noise about it, then either the 4 kids are going to have to suck it up and deal and be unhappy all day, or they're going to have to be the majority and take control. But if you vote on it and say, okay, well, let's see who wants to do it, the 4 win. Because all the voices got heard. And I'm not saying today or anywhere that this stuff was wrong. Well, I am. If they violated personal or property that wasn't theirs, then it's wrong. Spray painting anything, that's wrong. So yeah, that's definite. But for these places to take down these statues, because hell, they did the same thing with Joe Paterno with Penn State. They did the same thing. It's culture. It's all about culture. 50 years from now, are we going to be talking about Joe Paterno and what he did? Or what happened at Penn State? Probably not, but we are going to talk about he's the all-time winningest coach in pro ball. I mean, in college ball. I mean, that's just something that's there. probably nobody will even know what the hell happened 50 years from now. They'll say, oh, for some reason, the sports guys will know. But that's pretty much it. And then they'll have this trophy and all this stuff that gets taken away. Same thing with the Confederacy. How many people walked by that every day saying, oh, well, that's just an army thing. Oh, that's just something. Apparently they had this judge that was in one of the capitals, that was not a very good judge. So, it's going to be unpopular, but I am going to say what the president said at the same time. When is it going to stop? When is it going to be like, hey, let's think about this before we do it. Let's take this to the voter. Because I think that they should take it to the voter for no other reason but for that. Take it to the voter. I think that's the most important thing. And I know that isn't going to be the best news for people to hear. And I got myself a message on my phone. Let's see. And somebody's not listening. Okay. We do have 3 listeners right now on our live podcast, but we do have a lot of people who listen to this afterwards. So we're gonna be getting off here. Probably go like 25 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. That gives us a little bit longer to talk about different things. But I do want to give it up to all the people who just got together and loved the eclipse and were hand to hand, not really hand to hand with each other, but pretty damn close to each other. It was great to see that happen. Really exciting. I mean, just kind of exciting to see all these people get along. Carbondale, Illinois was a huge place yesterday. So if you guys haven't seen all the pictures are out there. Check them out. The eclipse was kind of a cool deal. Next one will happen in 2024. So then you can check it out then. And I think the one in 2024 will go in the south. So the full eclipse will be in the south. So there you go. So there's some stuff happening with the Navy ships. I don't know if you guys have probably seen all this. If you're paying attention to me, you're probably all across the news. The USS John McCain. That sounded really bad until I put the U in front of it. The USS John McCain had collision with an oil tanker. 10 sailors were missing, and apparently they were found in a part of the boat. So my thoughts and prayers go out to the family on that, and there's some crazy stuff going on there with the naval ships, and yeah, I'm just wondering what's going to happen with that next. Who knows what's going to happen there, and like I said, I just want to make sure I got out that happened, and thoughts and prayers go out to the family. This is kind of a terrible deal. So I did say we were going to go like 20 minutes, and this is the Scott Show Wake Up Call, which again happens every Tuesday, Friday. You want to hear any stuff happening, give me a heads up, and I'll start adding stuff to the show. You want to shout out, if for no other reason but to get a shout out on the show, check it out, and we will do that for you. We got lots of other awesome stuff coming up. We do have a sports show, the Bible show, the 102550 show, which launches tomorrow night. We got that going on. Lots of busy stuff going on today with 102550 rocking it, and we will be doing more and more podcasts and YouTube. So we'll be doing a lot of YouTube things as well. So you can check us out on that. We'll be uploading some video, which we will take. The current plan is that we're going to be going to different sporting events, stuff like that. locally around here, or just kind of taking a good view of the city that we are in. And hey, we are going to be traveling starting in February. We'll be in Boston, Massachusetts. We'll be doing live Scott Show podcasts from Boston, and because I'll have my computer, and we will probably be doing some interviews with people involved in the Boston Winter Walk, which will be really super exciting. So, Boston is our first stop for 2018. Then we will be making more trips to all across the country. I'm going to be running some 5Ks next year, all across this great nation, all to end homelessness and poverty. That's our game plan. Yeah, and hey, I know that last season we kind of stopped the Scott Show ahead of time. Didn't do it for a while, and we're trying to get our fans back. So if you guys can do anything to just hit it up, like, share, subscribe. We need as many people as possible to make this thing a success. That's what we're trying to do. So check it out. 102550.net/TheScottShow. We're live on there, and we will catch you guys real soon.